Basketball talk like you've never heard before. It's time for the most exciting basketball podcast, starring NBA great Damon Jones and Jake from Jake's Takes. Get ready for Ballin' Out with Jake and Damon.
Welcome to Ballin' Out. I'm Jake, and I want to introduce my co-host, NBA great Damon Jones. What's up, Damon?
What's up, my main man, Jake? I'm doing fantastic, buddy. Ready for this edition of Ballin' Out.
This is awesome. We got a lot of NBA news to discuss. But before we begin, I want to let our new listeners know what our new podcast, Ballin' Out, is all about. Damon and I have teamed up to bring you NBA insight, entertainment, and inside info you won't find elsewhere. My co-host Damon is an NBA champion, winning the title with LeBron James and the Cavs in 2016. He had a storied career as one of the best three-point shooters in NBA history. And who am I, you might be asking? I am Jake. I'm 11, and I host Jake's Takes, a show that interviews sports athletes and stars. So get ready, because together, Damon and I are ballin' out.
Each week, we're going to start by looking around the league for some of the NBA's headlines and stories to discuss. So let's start balling out by taking a tour around the NBA.
Number one.
Our first stop is in Utah. The Utah Jazz sit right at the top of the Western Conference. In fact, they're the number one team in the entire NBA. They've won 15 of their past 16 games, and Donovan Mitchell is having his most efficient offensive season so far. And Rudy Gobert is yet again the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. And Mike Conley is making a massive impact on the team. Damon, I realize this team's doing great things and all, and ESPN even has them as the number 2 in the power rankings. But come on! The Clippers are better than them. The Bucks, the Nets, these teams are clearly better than the Jazz, no?
They are better than them, Jake. But here's the thing with the Utah Jazz. They seem to always have great regular seasons. But this year, I think it's going to be different. With Conley being comfortable now in his second year, Bogdanovich being healthy this year, they have the pieces to get it done. But will they be able to sustain a good run in the playoffs?
So you think they're actually going to be able to pull it off? I mean, they're not only worse than the Clippers, in my opinion, but last year, come playoff time, they were way worse than the Heat and all these other teams. I mean, these power rankings right now are just according to the records. Come playoff time, that means zero. Nothing.
Well, it doesn't mean anything right now. But what I see with this basketball team, they're getting more comfortable together. In the playoffs last year, they didn't have Bogdanovich, and he's a big part of what they do offensively. Then you still have the key players coming off the bench, and Rudy Gobert, man in the middle defensively. Can Quinn Snyder put all the pieces together and make a strong run in the playoffs? We'll see.
Can't wait to figure that one out.
Number two.
Let's shift our attention to Milwaukee, where the Bucks are making some noise. They haven't found the regular season as effortless this past years, but things are improving. They've had a fabulous week, winners of 5 out of 6, including an impressive win on the road in Denver. Never an easy place to play. Giannis was just named the NBA Player of the Week, averaging 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Damon, where you at with the Bucks?
I have the Bucks right now, Jake, third in the Eastern Conference. I have them behind the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers. The problem with Milwaukee is They finally got a third star in Drew Holiday, which is all good. But will Giannis be able to improve from his playoff flameouts he's had the last couple years? And the key to everything is Mike Budenholzer. When teams start to lock into what they're doing with Giannis and getting all those guys open three-point shots, and they take that away, will he be able to adjust and do something different come playoff time?
By the way, did you see Giannis drop 47 yesterday?
Yeah, I saw him drop 47, but it was in a loss. So
yeah.
That really doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter. You can score 50 points. If you don't win the game, the end result is winning the game, Jake. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I know. And the thing that concerns me about this Bucks team is Giannis's free throws. I mean, like, how are you going to be able to win a play, make it to the NBA Finals with a player that just misses half his free throws?
Yeah, it's a tough situation. I think he has to improve his free throw shooting and also his mid-range jump shot. I see he's taken a lot of threes this year because teams are giving him a lot of threes. But for him, he needs to take up that space and work on his mid-range game. I think that'll help not only him, but also the Bucks as well.
Number 3.
And finally, let's go back to the West Coast and the Phoenix Suns. Wow, the Suns are winners of 7 of their last 8. Devin Booker put on a show in their victory against the Cavs, dropping 36 points. And his team was even short-handed, without 5 regulars, including Jay Crowder, Dario Saric, and they were missing all-time great Chris Paul at the point. Damon, you think they're good enough to win a playoff round?
I think they are, Jake. With the addition of Chris Paul this year, you know, we all know how he's able to elevate players around him. And I think he's going to make a big impact on Booker as well as Ayton. He gives those guys a great chance to win a round in the playoffs. I also like Monty Williams and his coaching staff and what they have done with the culture down there in Phoenix.
Like you just said, Chris Paul has been fabulous. And I say Chris Paul should be the point guard. I think he is the point guard. And last year, I sat courtside and Chris was super nice to me throughout the game. Maybe one day you can pull some strings and get Chris to call in and join us for a bit, huh? We could probably get that done. You know, Chris is a great guy, good friend of mine. Right now he's focused on what he's doing, so if he has a break in his schedule, maybe we can get him on for a second or two. Oh, baby! Right now on Ballin' Out, it's time for our spotlight feature on one player in the NBA who's getting noticed and standing out with his exceptional play. It's time for Watching You. This week, Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, he's demanding our attention. The Joker's sizzling start to the season continued over this past week with the big man averaging 36 points, 10 rebounds, and almost 7 assists over his last 4 games, while shooting 56% from the floor and 55% from 3.
Yeah, he's doing really good, Jake, and I've always liked the Joker, and he does so many things out on the floor that impacts winning. And he's a great passer. He scores the basketball. He rebounds the basketball. And he sets the tone for that Denver Nuggets team. My problem with Joker and the Denver Nuggets is, come playoff time, will he be able to sustain this type of play over the course of 3 to 4 rounds?
Damn, I really hope he can. I mean, right now, he's had to take the bigger role since Murray's out, kind of like the spot Embiid's in. And Damon, he's running with it. Joker, Damon and I are watching you. Get ready, because on Ballin' Out, we're going to take advantage of having Damon Jones as my co-host. Damon's got the inside info we all don't have access to. So now it's time for, Hey Damon, tell us the truth. stars LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden voiced their frustration with the NBA announcing their plans for All-Star Game this year. They feel it's irresponsible to have an All-Star Game during a pandemic, and the only reason the NBA is doing it is to make more money. But LeBron and the rest of the superstars have let down fans for years by sitting out events we all want to see them in. Hey Damon, tell us the truth. Are the players against the game because of their health concerns? Or do they just want some time off?
Well, Jake, this is a serious situation. We all know what's going on in the world as far as the pandemic is concerned. A lot of people being affected by COVID-19. And I think the players are being considerate of those fans and those people that are dealing with so much tragedy around the world. I applaud those guys for standing up and voicing their opinions about not wanting to play in the All-Star game. On the flip side of that, I do understand the NBA's take, because with the pandemic, there are no fans in the stands. And without fans, you have to get the product out to as many people as you can. And the All-Star weekend or the All-Star game has been something that they've done for years to connect the players to the fans. So I understand what the NBA is saying by wanting to throw the game, but in the midst of a pandemic, I have to side with the players. It's too risky with all the protocols that have to go on to get the players in and out of Atlanta. I just think this year, we should put it on pause and give those guys the break that they deserve.
I get it. But why do they have to be so aggressive with it? Why say it so rudely?
Well, I mean, you have to get your point across. And the Stars are saying that, we had a short off season. LeBron James and his team only had 71 days from the championship game to the start to the next season. That's never happened in NBA history. You usually have 3 to 4 months before the next season starts. So they're just trying to say to the league and everyone involved that, give us some rest and let's make the product very good the second half of the season. I
hear that. Last thing before we wrap it up today. Everyone loves a good old-fashioned, passionate debate. So now on Ballin' Out, it's time to duke it out.
The Brooklyn Nets are in it to win it. They loaded up with 3 superstars, KD, Kyrie, and now James Harden. It's scary how many options this team has to score, but only one person can take that final shot. Jake and Damon, who do you give the ball to when the game is on the line?
Well, Jake, this is easy for me. I'm going to give the ball to James Harden, and here's why. James Harden over the last 3 years has been the number 1 scorer in the league, and in doing so, he's led the league in 3-point make, 3 points attempted, total points. He's been tops in free throws shot and free throws made. At the end of the game, when you are trying to score to win the basketball game, you have to be able to do it in all 3 phases, right? We know he can make the 3. We know he can make the mid-range. But what's most important, when you put pressure on the referees to make a call to get to the free throw line. Look, I've coached Kyrie Irving. He's one of the greatest scorers I've ever seen. He's so dynamic with the basketball. He can get anywhere on the floor that he wants to. So I've seen that. I've also faced, as a coach, Kevin Durant in the 2017-2018 finals. He was awesome. He could score the basketball. But when you can score the ball from 3 levels and get to the free throw line like James Harden has done the last 3 years, I'm going to take him to take my last shot.
Harden? Damon, did you just say James Harden? Have you seen what he's done in the playoffs? Absolutely nothing. Kyrie and KD are way better at getting their shot off. Harden's the last on that list. The final shot obviously goes to Kevin Durant, hands down. He can get any shot he wants. He can just rise up over the defenders with his length. And doesn't need the refs to bail him out. Damon, how you not giving the ball to Durant when the game's on the line? Wow.
Well, like I said, Jake, James Harden is a professional scorer, okay? Kevin Durant can score the basketball. He's done it for years. And like you said, he has a height advantage over everybody that's guarding him, so he's able to shoot over the top and everything like that. But I've seen James Harden score the basketball with such ease. I'm talking about 50-point triple-doubles. The guy's done amazing things when it's come to scoring. So I'm going to put the ball in his hands and hoping that he's going to be able to make a three, a mid-range shot, or get to the free throw line. That's why I'm giving him the ball, Jake.
I say he can't get a free throw late in the game. In that situation, they don't call that like those little fouls that Harden gets. I mean, like, really, I give it to Durant all day.
He's creating a lot of contact, Jake, and he's putting the onus on the referees to make that call, and they're going to make it 9 times out of 10.
Well, Damon, this has been an awesome episode of Ballin' Out. We covered lots of topics around the NBA. Damon, you excited for the next upcoming week of games?
I'm always excited about NBA basketball, Jake. I get to see some of the best players in the world, the best teams in the world, and I'm excited to see the matchups coming up this week.
Wishing you all a fabulous week, and see you next time on Say It, Damon!